What's going on, everybody? My name is Jeff Bailey. Welcome to the channel and welcome back again for a third episode of the Spanish Pocket Knives series. Today we're going to go back to Catalan region, back to Catalonia, and we're actually going to look at another knife, sort of a brother knife, sister knife of our first episode. Something a little bit different about it this time that makes it unique, a couple things that make it unique. Yeah, let's take a look. Alright guys. We've got another knife from Pallares. Now at first glance this is going to look really similar to the knife we looked at before, but it's different. I wanted to give it its own video. Biggest difference here is there's one more word on this this stamp here that wasn't on the other one. It's not Pallares, it's not Solsona, it's INOX, or INOX. You can see it right there. If that seems familiar, you've probably all heard of the company Victorinox, or Swiss Army knives. You know, that's everybody's probably got one of those, right? It never occurred to me what those letters meant until I was in the store in Spain. Now my wife speaks Spanish. I understand a fair degree of Spanish. I've had some classes, but I'm by far fluent. And so I'd go into the stores and handle their wares, and I'd have questions, and my poor wife didn't know all of the vocabulary for metallurgy and pocket knife specifics and things like that. So we had a little bit of a language barrier, but we were able to communicate usually and get our points across. And what I came to realize was we were asking about steels, and the basic question when it comes to knife steel, number one for me is it carbon or is it stainless? As it turns out, at least in Spain, and probably in a lot of Europe, that INOX, that INOX, I'm not really sure how they say it, it probably varies from country to country, that means stainless steel. Now, is it the same stainless steel across the board? Like, is that a brand of stainless steel? I couldn't tell you. But I know that it's really just the start of the word. I think it was originally a French word, but in Spanish it's like inoxidable, and basically that seems to be a cognate for like inoxidable or not oxidable. In the United States we just call it stainless. So this is just stainless steel version of that same knife. This one opens a little easier. The pivot's not quite so sharp on this one. This one I've not damaged the bevel yet because I learned my lesson on that first one about letting it slide closed. But same size knife. You know what? I'll actually just go ahead and grab the first guy we talked about so we can do a side-by-side really quickly. See? Same size knife there. Different steel, but also different wood. This is a very light wood, a very smooth wood. It's very hard for me to capture much grain here. If I do really close in the light, you can see, there we go, that actually comes out not too bad. Almost like a pine, it's really light. This is actually madera de bois, or boxwood. So this was another, I actually saw boxwood trees in the wilds. Here in the United States, if somebody says boxwood, you think of one of those topiary type trees that you get at the Home Depot, like an English boxwood, something like that that you put in your landscape. But they just have wild boxwood trees here in the Mediterranean. So another knife from that region where they're using a wood that's endemic to that region. You know what I also just noticed for the first time? This guy's got steel hardware. This guy's got brass. Or copper, I suppose. Probably brass. Copper's probably not hard enough. I don't know. And I just really like that a lot. And I also like that I've got one carbon and one stainless. They make a nice pair, I think. So this is a shorter video because we've already looked at the details of this guy here. But once again, for 30 euros, this is not a bad knife. You don't have to worry about rusting on this guy. Still very, very sharp out of the factory. Very, very thinly ground. Handsome knife that feels good in the hand. Probably the only drawback I can think of that I didn't mention in the video for this knife is without that kick there. Not to say that that's like a hand guard or anything like on a sword, but this, there's not even like a sharpener's notch. I mean, that edge starts, you can see, like a couple millimeters off the grind here. Like that's the base of the handle. that is the start of the edge. So if I'm holding this and I do something that causes the knife to slip in this direction, there's very, very little that would stop a fingertip from riding up on that blade. And that's another one of my complaints here. But, you know, I mean, we all like to talk about doing hard work with our pocket knives, but for the most part, we're not doing that. And that's just something I'll have to be mindful with these knives is, you know, maybe don't do a lot of push cutting or against something that could catch and cause my hand to slip up the blade. You know, if you're doing this kind of stuff, your hand's not going to slip up, but something to consider. Anyway, hope you like these knives. You can find, did some looking, you can find these on the internet at a couple places. Some of the sites will be in Spanish when you first load them up, but then they'll translate to, they have like an English option. You know, look for a Great Britain flag or something like that. And I don't know what shipping to the United States would be, but the couple of English or American sites I saw that sold these had an outrageous markup, like more than a 100% markup off of what I bought just from a hardware store in a little village in Spain. So you can find them. I'm sure you can find them out there if you look, but worst case, you can just look at them here. So again, Pallares knives in the region of Catalonia in Spain. Nice little carbon and stainless steel pair, olive wood and boxwood. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next episode.